and welcome. I'm Stephanie Lillian, the medical mystic, and this is a yoga class for if you tend to sit at a desk and work all day. We'll be going through opening up areas like the hips, the wrists, the neck, the back, anywhere that just kind of gets compressed while sitting all day. Also, I'm very excited to bring to you this class because this class holds a nice special place in my heart. Rather than your typical vinyasa flow where you're going to be listening to me guide you step by step, this class is broken up into 3 parts. In each part, we're going to go through a couple of poses together, and then you'll get time to do the flow on your own 2 times through. So the idea with this type of practice is that rather than you focusing externally from yourself, in other words, on the screen, on me, giving you the cues along the way, you get some time to take some steps back, to sync the movements with your individual breath, and also get some time to notice what's going on in that brain of yours, realizing thoughts that are distracting you from staying connected with your breath. With that being said, we are going to start today lying down on our mats. So find a nice comfortable spot laying down and we will get started there. So once you're lying down on your mat or on the ground, a blanket, whatever you have, take a moment to puff up your chest and inch the shoulder blades down the back so you get lots of space around the neck. Either bring your hands by your sides or maybe just rest them on your belly and just allow the feet to relax down by the edge of your mat. Eventually, draw your eyes closed and just start to allow yourself to arrive in this very moment. Take a moment to let go of the day that you've had, anything else that you have to do tonight or even the rest of the week, and really just allow yourself to become here and now. There's nothing else you have to do for the next hour. All you have to do is be here with me. So just allow those thoughts to begin to disappear, maybe imagining them as balloons drifting off into the distance. And eventually begin to tune your awareness into the breath. So notice if you can hear yourself breathe every inhale and every exhale. And as your awareness begins to arrive on your breath, see if you can deepen every inhale and exhale. So we're still going for balance here. Inhales equally as long as exhales, but see if you can broaden every breath in and every breath out. So big breaths. Notice if there's any thoughts coming up for you, anything that keeps distracting you from paying attention to your breath. Take a moment to really notice what's on your mind and eventually dismiss it. Just let it go. You'll get back to it after class. And really try to focus on every breath in and every breath out. And as your sole focus is on your breath, just in the background, see if you can relax your body further down. Just send a wave of relaxation from the top of your head down across the body, out your toes. Just letting go wherever you feel like you're holding, wherever you're resisting relaxation towards the ground. Still keeping your primary awareness on breathing. Let's just take a couple more big breaths, really affirming that connection between the mind and every breath. If you want to stay lying down on your mat, you're super comfortable where you are and you just want to work on paying attention to your breath, stay where you are. Maybe pause this video or just allow it to go in the background and tune in when you're ready. But if you're ready to start moving, we're just going to begin our first flow as we are laying down on our mats. So on your next inhale, bring your knees in towards your chest and just take a couple moments to rock side to side. Just noticing how the body feels and syncing your breath to every rock back and forth. Just take a moment to notice how the hips feel, maybe how the back and shoulders feel. We're going to start our first flow together. So on your next exhale, allow the feet to come down towards the mat. Hands are going to come down by your sides. And then from here, you're going to spread your feet wider than hips distance. Big inhale, and then on an exhale, knees are just going to drop in towards each other. And you're going to stay here for 5 big breaths. So let's inhale for 1. Full exhale. Inhale for 2. Exhale fully. Inhale for 3. Big exhale. 2 more breaths. You're doing great. Inhale deeply. Full exhale. Last breath, big inhale. And exhale completely. From here, on your next inhale, hug the knees in towards you again and just gently rock side to side. Notice how that felt for you. And on your next exhale, allow the arms to drop towards the sides, coming into a T-shape, hands extending out from the shoulders. We're going to move into a twisting flow next. So big inhale. And on your next exhale, drop the knees over toward the left hand side, trying to keep the knees close to your chest and try not to set them down completely. Inhale back to center and exhale to the right. Inhale center. Exhale left. So that was 3. We're going to do a total of 5 drops. Inhale center. Exhale to the right. That was 4. Inhale center. And exhale to the left, and then pause here. So you're going to drop over, allow the legs to rest, and pause for 5 deep breaths here, looking over your right hand in this nice gentle twist. You want to go a little bit deeper, you'll actively stack the knees and the hips over each other. It should feel like a nice stretch to the right hand side. Let's take 2 more breaths together. So big inhale for 1. Full exhale. Inhale for 2. And exhale fully. On your next inhale, bring the knees back to center. We're going to do 5 more drops. So exhale, knees go to the right. Inhale, center, trying to keep the knees as close to your chest as possible. Exhale to the left. That was 2. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. This is our last one. Inhale to the center. And then exhale, drop the knees over to the right hand side. And we're going to pause here, looking over the left hand now. So 5 deep breaths in this twist. Really envisioning breathing into the left hand side now. Big breaths. Let's do 3 more breaths together. Again, you'll be doing a total of 5. So big inhale for 1. Full exhale. Inhale for 2. Exhale. Inhale for 3. And exhale completely. On your next inhale, bring the knees back to center. On your exhale, hug them in 1 more time. So the last pose in this flow is going to be reclined butterfly knit legs, or also known as Baddha Konasana. So from here, you're going to bring the insides of your feet to touch and either grasp onto the shins, or if you can reach, you're going to wrap your hands around your feet, interlacing the fingers. Allow the heels to drop down towards the pelvic area, and you're going to press the knees out away from you. So this should feel like a super nice hip opening stretch. From here, you want to inch the shoulder blades down the back and relax the shoulders down. If you feel yourself curling up and lifting up, grab a little bit farther back on the legs, no problem. We're not going for strain in the neck area. And see if you can just relax into the hips, press the low back into the ground, gently pull the low belly down towards the mat. You'll be here for 5 breaths, so let's take 3 more together. 2 more breaths. Last one. On your next inhale, hug the knees back in towards you and add that gentle rock again. So that's our flow. As a quick recap, we're going to start with the feet wider than hips distance, knees dropping in towards the sides and hands relaxing down by the sides. You'll be here for a total of 5 breaths. From here, you'll move to the twisting flow. So you'll bring the knees to your center, maybe get into that ball shape, feel it out, but eventually the hands are going to drop to the sides, and you'll follow your breath. You'll start dropping to the left, and you'll go 5 drops, so back and forth, 5 times, and then you'll eventually land on the left-hand side. You'll hold here for 5 breaths. From here, you're going to do your leg drops again, 5 more, starting with the right-hand side, 5 back and forth, and then you'll end on the right hand side. Hold here for 5 breaths. You'll come back up to center, maybe hug it in, feel it out a bit, and then you'll end with the feet coming together, knees splaying out, and reclined Baddha Konasana, either holding onto the shins, holding onto the feet, and then you'll be here for 5 breaths. So it's feet apart, knees drop in, twist drops, holding after the 5th one on each side, and then ending with the knees splaying out, feet coming in. You're going to do that for 2 times through. I'm going to be doing it on your screen. up here, but I'm not going to be giving you too many cues. I'll be reminding you when to check into the breath, when to check into the mind. But other than that, this is your time to feel into your body. So get started when it feels good for you, and I'll be on your screen doing the moves. If you need to make it up as you go, do what feels good for you, and I'll see you in the next flow. Take a moment to check in. Notice where the mind is at right now. What are you thinking about? Can you pinpoint exactly what you're thinking about? Are you paying attention to the breath and moving with every breath? Or is the mind trailing off to other things? Notice what's coming up for you. Acknowledge it, and then eventually send it on its way. Come back to physically feeling every inhale and exhale. Notice if you can soften the body any further. Can you relax the face? Can you soften your eyes? Maybe relax the hands, the arms. Notice where you're holding tension that you don't need to be, only using what's necessary for each posture. Relaxing the body down, flowing with every inhale and exhale. If you're still flowing and you need more time, please take the time, pause this video, and continue to flow with your breath. This is your time, so take the time that you need. If you are done, just take a couple more moments to tune into your breath. Notice how those movements felt for you, and reflect upon any thoughts that are coming in, maybe distracting you from paying attention to your breath fully. What's on your mind right now? Just a couple breaths reflecting upon that flow. If you're ready to move on to your next flow, we're going to start making our way to hands and knees, tabletop position. So meet me there, take your time getting there, stay connected with the breath. Notice how you feel right now. So making your way to hands and knees. From here, make sure that the fingers are spread super wide on your mat to help distribute the weight in the wrists. The wrists should be directly under the shoulders. Knees are hips distance, directly under the hips. We're going to start this flow with shoulder circles around the wrists. So on your next inhale, you're going to go slightly to the left and then press out, bringing the shoulders in front of the fingertips, coming around to the right hand side, and on the exhale, you're going to come back towards you. So inhale, moving out to the left, going around. Exhale, coming in from the right hand side and back to the left. Inhale, going out. Really try to sync your breath to your movements. Exhale, down and back. We're going to do two more going this way. Inhale, going out and forward. Exhale, down and back. Last one this side. Inhale, going out and around. Exhale, down and back. Pause. Now you're going to reverse the motion. So we're going to inhale to the right hand side, bring the shoulders forward of the fingertips, and exhale to come down from the left and back to center. Again, inhale right, pressing out, really feel into the wrist here. Exhale, down and back. Three more. We're doing 5 on each side. Inhale, going out and forward. Exhale, down and back. Keep that low belly sucked in, strong through the core. Inhale, out and forward. Exhale, down and back. This is our last time on this side. Inhale, out and around. Exhale, down and back. Pause here. From here, we're going to move into a wrist stretch. So on your next inhale, lift the right hand up, flip it over so the fingertips are facing towards you. So just so you can see, I'm going to move my hand. My palm is facing up towards the ceiling. Fingertips are facing towards my knees. So take a moment here. Notice the more weight you're going to put in the wrists is going to be the more directly the shoulders are over the hands. So if that makes sense, if your shoulders are directly over your hands, you're going to have the most weight in that wrist. If your hips are sinking back a bit, you're going to take weight off that wrist. So go to where this feels okay for you, and you can keep the arm relatively straight. The fingertips should be pressing down into the mat. 5 deep breaths here. This should feel like a nice wrist stretch. 4 more breaths. Keep pressing through that left hand. 3 more breaths. 2 more. Last one. On your next inhale, bring the right hand back to neutral. Exhale here. Then inhale, lift the left hand up, and on the exhale, set it down. So again, palms facing up, fingertips are facing towards the knees, and the fingers are pressing down into the mat, finding a place where it feels like a good wrist stretch, one where you can breathe deeply in. 5 big breaths here. So inhaling for 1, exhale, inhale for 2, exhale, inhale for 3. You're doing great. Exhale, keep pressing through that right hand. Inhale for 4. Exhale. Last one, big breath in. And exhale completely. On the inhale, bring the hand back to neutral. Exhale, set it down. From here, we're moving into 5 rounds of cat-cow. So on your next inhale, drop the belly down, pull the heart through shoulder blades down, the back gaze goes up. Exhale, round the spine, press through hands and knees, try to look towards the thighs or belly button. Inhale, drop the belly down, pull the heart through. Exhale, round the spine, pressing up the shoulder blades. 3 more, inhale, drop the belly down, heart pulls through. Exhale, round the spine, press through the hands, press through the knees. Inhale, belly drops down, heart pulls through. Exhale, round the spine, press through the hands, look towards the belly button. Last round, inhale, belly drops down. Exhale, lifting up the shoulder blades. Inhale back to neutral, and our last pose of this flow, you're going to curl the toes under, and on your exhale, sink the hips back down towards the heels, hands reach out away from you. Child's pose with the toes curled under. So you're going to want to feel like you're pressing the ground back away from you a little bit, so you can get a nice stretch along the backs of your feet. You can also play around where the arches are, where the heels are in alignment with each other, maybe flexing the feet, pulling them back. Just find where this feels like a nice stretch to the feet. 5 breaths here. Let's take 4 more breaths. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. On your next inhale, make your way back to hands and knees, toes uncurl, and you're going to resume the flow again. So just as a recap, we're going to start with our shoulder circles. You're going to be going out and around, starting from the left hand side, really just feeling into the wrists and coordinating your movements to every inhale and exhale. So this should be a slow movement. You'll do 5 going one way, and then 5 going the opposite way. From there, you're going to move to the wrist stretch. So stretching the fingertips back towards you, 5 breaths on each hand. From here, you're going to go through 5 rounds of cat-cow. So dropping the belly down and rounding, pulling up. One movement of the drop down and the pull up is 1 round. So you'll be doing 5 of those. And then you'll end in a nice child's pose with the toes curled under for 5 deep breaths. So again, that's shoulder circles, wrist stretch, cat-cow, child's pose with the toes curled under. You'll do that for 2 rounds through, and then we'll meet up together. Again, I'll be on your screen doing it, but really try to not use me on the screen as your guide. Just sync your movements to your breath and use your memory to try to remember what to do. I'll see you on the last flow of class. Take a moment to check in again. Notice where the mind is at. Is there a persistent thought or topic that's coming up for you, distracting you from your breath? Just notice where the mind is. We're here to observe what's going on within the mind, not to judge it, but just to notice it. Bring it back to the breath every time we realize that we're being distracted from the present moment. So just notice what's going on, how what you're thinking is making you feel. Eventually letting it go and coming back to every inhale and every exhale. Breathing your fullest, deepest breaths, slowing down every movement, and syncing it to your natural slow breath. Can you slow down your breath any further? Still keeping the quality of your breath, so inhales being equally as long as exhales. Can you slow it down? When we slow down our breathing, we consciously breathe. So notice if you could just take back a couple steps, slow it down, and also slow down the movements rather than rushing to complete the flow. Being fully present with the sound of your breath, letting everything else just drift away. If you're still flowing and you need more time, just pause this video and resume when you're ready to move on to the final flow of class. If you are ready to move on, just take a couple moments, sit with yourself, reconnect to the breath, notice how you're feeling, how that flow felt for you, and where you are mentally right now. Are you able to focus in on the breath? Are you able to sync your movements to the breath? Or is there something coming up for you while you're practicing that's distracting you from your breath? Is it a certain theme? Is there a certain topic to what's coming up for you? Just notice where the mind is going. Pay attention to what's happening inside. Just reflecting on it, no judging. This is just where you're at right now. Over time, it'll get easier to focus, but just notice where you're at right now. Couple big breaths here. Let's do one more big breath. For our final flow of class, we're going to be working with stretching out the back, doing a little bit of back bending. To start, you're going to want to be facing the front of your mat, and you have two choices. You can either start, I'm going to face you so you can see me. You can either start just sitting on your legs, like with the knees bent. If this is too much for you, if it's too much on the knees, maybe you can prop yourself up, curling the toes under, sitting on a block. So maybe putting a block between the legs, sitting down on the block if you have one available to you. If you don't, and that's not feeling any better for you, then just simply straighten out your legs in front of you, come to a cross-legged position. Just find where it feels good to sit on your legs. I'm going to sit with my knees bent, feet under my hips. So the first posture in this last flow of class, we're going to inhale our hands up over our head. On the exhale, we're going to interlace the fingers and bring the hands behind the head. This is a version of seated cat-cow. So on the inhale, bring the head back, lift the chin up, and open up the elbows towards the sides of the room you're in. On the exhale, begin to look towards the belly button, rounding, maybe elbows come towards touching. Inhale to sit up, expanding the elbows wide. Exhale to round, looking down. We're going to do 3 more rounds. So inhale, opening up, expanding the chest, pressing the head back. Exhale, rounding, elbows come towards touching. 2 more rounds. Inhale, opening up. Exhale to round, stretching the back of the neck. Last round, inhale, open up. And exhale, rounding down. Inhale back to neutral, expanding wide. And then exhale, hands come to the knees. Awesome job. That should feel really good on the back of the neck and opening up the chest. From here, I'm going to move towards how you would ideally be seated. We're going to inhale, coming up to the knees. So if you're not on the knees, if you were sitting in a cross-legged position or something, this time you're going to want to come to the knees. If it helps, maybe put a pillow under the knees if that's too much pressure, if you're on a wood floor or something. From here, you're going to curl the toes under. I'm going to work with camel touchbacks, so Ustrasana. So inhale, the hands are going to come out in front of you. On the exhale, you're going to bring the right hand back. Maybe you touch the heel, maybe the hand just dangles in the air. Either way, the goal is to keep the hips over the knees. We don't want to be leaning back. We want to keep integrity with the hips over the knees and really make this a back bend. So inhale, back up. Exhale, left hand to the left heel. Inhale, up. Exhale, right hand, right heel. Inhale, up. Exhale, left hand to the left heel. Inhale, up. Exhale, right hand, right heel. Inhale, up. Exhale, left to left. Inhale, up. Let's do 2 more on each side. So exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, left. Inhale, up. Last time, exhale, left. Or right, excuse me. Inhale, up. And now exhale, left. Inhale, up. From here, you're going to exhale, bring your hands to the low back or sacrum. Your choice. You can either have the fingertips pointing down, or maybe you just grasp around the hips with the fingers pointing up or grasping around your wrist, whichever feels better. This is going to be to help support the back bend we're about to do. So hands press in, elbows pull in towards each other. Again, we're striving to keep the hips over the knees. On your next inhale, lift the heart up, press the hands into the low back, elbows pull towards each other, and exhale, maybe you just drop the head back. From here, you're going to be here for 5 deep breaths. So big breaths. If you can't breathe your fullest breath, come out of the posture of it. Just find where this feels good for you. Let's take 3 more big breaths here. 2 more breaths. 1 more big breath. And then on your next inhale, come back up. And exhale, just come seated on your legs. Hands come down to the thighs. 5 big breaths here. If you feel like you got a little bit of a head rush from allowing the head to come back and then coming up, just take a moment. If you need more than 5 breaths to kind of re-equalize how you're feeling inside, take more breaths if you need it. Just notice how you're feeling. Also see if you can just slightly hug the tailbone in a bit, so low belly sucks in, and just tilting the pelvis up a bit to just relieve a little bit of tension in the low back. Let's take 3 more big breaths here. 2 more breaths. 1 more. And that's our flow. That's our final flow of class. So just as a recap, you're going to start with your seated cat-cows. Again, you don't have to be seated on the shins. You can be seated however it works for you. You'll inhale the hands up, exhale them down. Do 5 rounds. 1 round is a look down and an open up. So 5 rounds of that seated cat-cow. From there, you're going to come up on the knees, curl the toes under, and you're going to do the camel touchbacks. 5 on each side. So again, the goal is to keep those hips up over the knees. You'll touch back. Again, that's 5 on each side. So if you are counting, it'll be a total of 10 if you're not doing it per side. And then from there, you're going to come into a modified version of camel pose, a nice easy pose. Just bringing the hands to the low back, pressing those hips forwards, engaging the thighs, and then peeling back for a total of 5 breaths. From there, you'll just sit down, bring the heels and the hips together. 5 breaths here to just kind of come back to the breath. Notice how you're feeling. You'll do that for a total of 2 times through, and then we'll meet up for the closing of class.
For this final flow of class, can you really give yourself permission to let go of whatever's on your mind? You can get back to it after your practice today. But for the last couple of movements, the last couple of postures, can you be fully present with your breath? Really noticing every inhale and exhale, taking your fullest breath. Not necessarily trying to shut down the mind, but noticing when thoughts are arising, letting them go, and just returning to the present moment with your breath. Really trying to be here and now. There's nothing else that matters. All you are doing is flowing with your body, with your breath. There's nothing else you have to do right now. Let it all go. Again, take a moment to just check in. Where is your mind at right now? Can you answer the question, what are you thinking about in this very moment? Whatever it is, notice how it makes you feel when you think about it, but eventually send it on its way and come back to the breath. Notice if your breath is shortening up, if it's seizing, that's indicative to you to pull back a bit, not go as deep. We're here to stay present with the breath, to breathe our fullest breath. So listen to the quality of your breath and adjust your movements accordingly. Be here now with the breath. Let everything else go. There's nothing else that you need to worry about. Just noticing how every flow, every movement feels in your body.
If you are still flowing and you need more time to continue to flow, please pause this video, take your time. You have all the time that you need. If you are ready to continue on, we'll meet up for the closing of class. So to get ready for our closing, we're just going to start with a nice child's pose with the knees touching to help relieve any lasting tension in the low back. So bring the knees to touch, and then on your next exhale, hands come out towards the ground in front of you, and just drape your body over the thighs and rest yourself down. Maybe wiggle the hips side to side. Really try to send your breath to the low back. So big breaths, and imagine when you breathe in, the breath is sent to the low back. When you exhale, tensions release. Let's take 4 more big breaths here. 3 more breaths. 2 more. Last one. And then on your next inhale, gently walk the hands back towards you till you're sitting back up on the heels. And then on the exhale, just simply swing the legs out and around, extending them in front of you. And we're going to move on to a forward fold. Before we do, make sure the knees and the thighs are pressing down, toes are pulling back towards you. Big inhale, hands sweep up overhead. And on the exhale, dive down towards your legs. Inhale, pull the heart forward, shoulder blades come down the back. If you can keep the chest lifted, lower down further on your exhale. If you notice you begin to round, lots of tension comes in towards the shoulders, go to a point where you can stay lifted and keeping the shoulders down away from the ears. Let's take 5 big breaths here. Again, just breathing into any tension that you feel in the low back. Just letting go. This should feel super good after you did those camel poses. Let's take 3 more big breaths here. 2 more. Last one. And on your next inhale, coming back up to seated. Exhale, shoulder blades down the back. And then inhale, scoot yourself forward so you have room to lie down. On the exhale, just a gentle lower down to your mat. Inhale, hug the knees in towards you, maybe rock side to side. Maybe allow the ears to drop side to side as well, just relieving any lasting tension. And on your next exhale, straighten only the left leg down to the ground. Inhale here, and then exhale, drop the right knee across your body, lowering it to the left hand side. Right hand's going to extend out towards your side, coming into a nice gentle twist. 5 big breaths here. Notice we want to keep that right shoulder blade pressing down. If it lifts up, just come out of your twist a bit. We want to keep integrity in the shoulders, shoulder blade pressing down. 3 more big breaths. Maybe rest your left hand on the right thigh. 2 more. Last one. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, straighten the leg down towards the ground. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So inhale, left knee hugs in. And on the exhale, drop it across the body to the right hand side. Left hand extends out, looking over the left fingertips. 5 deep breaths here, really just feeling into this nice side stretch across the body. Pressing that left shoulder blade down, maybe resting your right hand on the left thigh. Let's take 3 more big breaths here. 2 more. Last one. Inhale the knee back to center. And exhale, straighten it down to the ground. From here, inhale and hug both the knees back in, maybe rock side to side. And we're going to move to what's known as happy baby pose next. So from here, either grab onto the shins and pull the knees down to the armpits, or grasp your hands around the outsides of the feet. Knees are going to go out towards the side body, dropping ideally towards the armpits. You want to flex the feet like you're going to press up the ceiling, but you're going to pull the feet down with your hands. And rather than allowing the hips to come up off the ground, see if you can press them down. That's where you're going to get this nice hip stretch. Also by trying to keep the shins perpendicular to the ground, that's where you're really going to feel a good stretch. Relax the shoulders. Again, if you need to hold on to the shins, no problem. Let's take 4 more big breaths here. 3 more breaths. 2 more. Last one. On the exhale, allow the insides of the feet to come together 1 more time. Either grasping onto the shins, wrapping the hands around the feet, and just taking a couple more breaths here. Relaxing into this pose, nice opening hip stretch. Let's take 2 more big breaths. One more. And then exhale, allow the feet to drop as they are, hands come by the sides. If this feels like a super good resting pose, you can stay here. If you want, you can eventually straighten out your legs coming into Shavasana. If you don't feel completely ready yet to make your way into Shavasana, please take your time, continue to flow, give your body what it needs. So we're really trying to tap into our intuition here, really tapping into the mind, letting it go, and tuning into the body. So if there's some sort of pose, a stretch that's just calling your name, doesn't have to be a real yoga posture, take it. Pause this video, flow with how you need, and when you're ready, we'll come to Shavasana. If you're ready for Shavasana right now, find your nice comfortable resting position on your mat, and I will meet you there to guide you through a nice relaxing meditation. As you arrive in your final resting pose, Shavasana, make sure that your eyes are closed, just gently resting shut. Hands relax down by your sides or on your belly. And just allow the feet to splay outwards towards the sides. And as you rest here, let go of the conscious hold on your breath. So just allow your body to breathe itself naturally. Become a bystander, just observing your body breathe. Relax the back of your head, the crown of your head, your scalp. Soften the forehead, the eyebrows, and the eyes. Relax your temples and your cheeks. Soften your nose, your jaw. Bring the tongue off the roof of the mouth, and relax your teeth. Soften the neck. Relax your shoulder blades. And relax your arms, softening the elbows and the wrists as you relax. Relax your hands as you consciously soften every finger. Relax the chest, the rib cage, and the belly. And allow your back to just melt down towards the ground beneath you. Soften your hips and the pelvic area. Relax the thighs, the knees, the lower legs and ankles. And relax your feet, softening every toe. Notice anywhere in your body that you may still be holding tension. And just let it go. Surrender yourself down towards the ground beneath you, allowing it to support you in every way. And allow this relaxed state within the body to translate to the mind, relaxing the mind. Almost imagining just an empty cavity in your head, maybe white light in the head, space to breathe. Noticing this peaceful energy you've cultivated within, and just allowing yourself to drift off into this beautiful space, and allowing your body to feel into, to absorb the goodness of your practice today. Gently begin to bring the awareness back into your body by deepening your breath. Eventually add small wiggles to the toes and the fingers, the wrists and the ankles. Whenever you're ready, just gently roll over onto one side to rest in a fetal position. Take your time. And again, whenever you're ready, just gently press yourself up to seated at the front of your mat. Keep the eyes softly closed. Just be gentle with yourself, moving with ease. We'll meet with the hands touching at heart center and the eyes softly closed. Just take a couple more moments to notice how you feel. Notice how the mind feels, how the body feels, and how you feel emotionally. Gently give yourself a smile, thanking yourself for showing up here today, for dedicating this time to you. And thank you for sharing your beautiful energy with me here today. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.